Hello everyone, it's Rocco from Rocco Reviews, where we drive the best and test the rest. Today I'm going to be giving you my 6-month and 10,000 mile ownership review of my 2013 Toyota Camry Hybrid XLE. Now that it's been 6 months and 10,000 miles, I can tell you everything that went wrong with it, and everything that I love about it, and hate about it, and have not liked and loved over the past 6 months and 10,000 miles. So let's get right into it. I am first starting off with the current mileage that's on it right now. Get inside, where it is nice and warm, and start it up. So currently has 124,768 miles on it. So I got the car had 114,600 miles on it. The engine just kicked on for some unknown reason. Can't get it to shut off, but I just had the oil changed. I've already gone through 2 oil changes. So I got the car in late November, on November 25th, and my first oil change was on, I believe, February 8th. I'll put up a screenshot of all these times, of course. And I just had the oil changed again last week. So far it's been great. 5,000 mile oil changes. Very important. You can see the interior has held up, if I can get it to focus, very well. And I do keep the car clean. Everyone points it out. You've probably seen it on my Instagram. I do keep my car clean. Of course, some of these things are packed. And I have this really cool cargo organizer I got a couple months ago, and I'll put a link in the description for it. I'm not going to go past it, but I should show some of the wear points of the car as well. Right there. That's starting to wear. Starting to wear over there also. But for 10 years and 124,000 miles, it's really not too bad. These seats have held up very nicely. I will admit, I'm not a big fan of them. They're not very comfortable. I'll say it. I've gone on close to 5 or 6 road trips, and they're not that impressive. Like, they're nice, but they're not. Squirrel. Where's he going? Hey. Stay in shot. Anyways, I've noticed after like 4-hour road trips, kind of starts to cramp a little bit because it doesn't have a lot of like. Get out and show you. Not a lot. Doesn't feel like it has a lot of padding, especially on the sides are really hard. I'm just not a fan. My 2002 Camry, which was an SE model, and had cloth seats. There he is. Anyways, my 2002 model that had cloth seats, they were much more supportive than this. They felt way nicer. So I'm going to see if I can get SE or XSE seats, because remember the 2015 and 2017 generation seats, because it's all in the same generation as this car, do bolt right in, as far as I know. So I'm going to look for 2015 XSE seats that are like the cloth and ultra suede mix, because I really like those seats. This is a 2007 hybrid shifter, so before you ask, yes, this is a 2007 shifter. But I might as well talk about the transmission, because my old car had a 4-speed automatic and I loved it. This has the hybrid ECVT gearbox. There are things I don't like about it, for sure. It tries to replicate shift, and it's not that great. Doesn't do it all the time, but like when you're kind of maybe quarter throttle, half throttle, and then you lightly let off the gas, it makes a shift. I am not a big fan of it in that situation, but responsiveness, it's great. Great response. So overall, great transmission. don't like the fake shift. Which I guess will lead me on to the engine segment and tell you how that's held up. So as you can hear right now, the engine is off. I had the air conditioning on though, so it's making some noise. But I haven't had to do anything to this engine. Literally nothing. Except for 2 oil changes. Because the oil changes matter. I won't have to do anything to the car if I keep up with the oil changes. If I don't, then I'm going to have some oil burning issues, which it already does have. Not that bad though. About half a quart in 6 months. I've noticed. That's why I noticed the first time. I had to go top it off and then to have oil in the back. I had to top it off. And then that's like right before my oil change, so it wasn't a big deal. Anyways, as you can see, you probably know I tinted these very recently. And so far the tint has held up well. I'm going to put a link in the description for these. See, it hasn't burned too much, you could tell, because the exhaust tip is still nice for the most part. It's not perfectly chrome, but I think I could polish it. So that's what I will try to do, because I'd like to have this exhaust tip polished. Make it look a little nicer. As you probably remember, if you follow me on Instagram, I took the hybrid badges off. Just wanted it to just look a little, I don't know how to put it, cleaner. I just put new center caps on. This is from the 2007 Camry, and I really like the center caps. They have like a bit of chrome to them, and it looks great. And I just did spark plugs, so that's something else I forgot to talk about the engine, of things I did. I did do spark plugs because it had hit the first interval, 120,000 miles, and spark plugs were great. So, really not too bad. The Fiat spark plug, I'll put a picture of what the spark plugs for this car look like. But the Fiat spark plugs, oh god, that was a different thing. I did both cars in the same weekend, and that was a complete mess. I'll show you those. Those are trashed and ugly. But this car, great. So I'll move on to the gas mileage, because gas mileage has been a mixed bag. I'll show you my Gas Buddy app. So I have the Gas Buddy app for the iPhone, and if I open it, Face ID. If I show you my app, if I can find it, you will see scroll down. My last fill up, 37 miles per gallon. Now let's view the log. So my best, 39.2. You can see pretty much how much it has cost to fill. So I don't really let it run below here, because I just don't. I don't like it. But the way I drive, 32 to 39 is for the most part what I get. 36 is about my average. So this is everything since the first day that I got the car. These are how many fill-ups I've done in 6 months. This is 6 months worth of fill-ups. That's it. So I kind of wish it was like a tank full a month, but with my drive every day, I have a 40-mile drive. Well, 40 miles both ways. So 20 miles one way, 20 miles the other. It's really not that bad. So it's like every 2 weeks. I do a lot of driving. So that's how I got 10,000 miles in 6 months. So over course of 10,000 miles, this is pretty good. So I'm not going to complain about the gas mileage. And remember, it's on its original battery, which I'm going to talk about, because I think the battery is holding up just fine. You can see Go to my energy monitor. The battery holds a charge, which is great. So really nothing wrong. I could run on EV mode. Like, I could park in EV mode with the battery at this point, and it will stay at this point for like 30 minutes. So it's very efficient. The battery is efficient. Not saying the car's efficient, but the battery is. So that's nice. So I'll move on to some of the things I haven't liked about it. Number one, for things I don't like about it, the steering wheel is just ugly, okay? After so many road trips, I hate this wheel. I passionately hate it. It is the worst steering wheel put into a car. This is just bad. It is thick and kind of hard to hold sometimes, like this. I like to be able to like grip it here, then I have to have my hand up here. And there's the sharp angle assist grips, but I'm still not quite a fan of them. This is just ugly. This is hideous, and I want to put in like I know the 2015 wheel fits, but I would like if the 2011 wheel fit. Put a picture on the screen of what that looks like. I'd really like for it to fit, because that's my favorite one. This is ugly. You know, these 4 huge buttons. And I'll admit, I'm not a big fan of the center stack here either. I think it's ugly. I don't like this screen. So I'm going to swap this out for like a 10-inch something that'll pretty much fill from here to here. Something that'll give me CarPlay and Android Auto. And the big button theme carries on down here, and I'm not a fan. I don't like this. It's really the silver. If you're going to put silver in the car, put silver everywhere in the car. Just black, I don't like how this looks. I prefer when it was all silver. I'll put a picture on the screen. That could just be this big bezel I don't like. If I had the screen that actually filled up this entire space just right here till this line, maybe my mind would change, because that one has like the flip out CD player, and you can do so much more. This screen really did not have a lot in the way of features. That's my watch. It doesn't have a lot in the way of features. So if I go to the vehicle features, it's like lock speed and like headlight stuff, and then if you want to turn the beeper off, which I do at night. And there's like the display captured image thing, which I can't get to work, because I realized it's not what I thought it was. It is not for a custom startup image. The other ones have it, but this one doesn't, and it's not very fun. So not much you could do with the screen. And the audio system is not fantastic. I would play something here if I didn't have a copyright issue. But because I'm on YouTube, I don't want to demonetize my channel. So I'm not going to do that. So, don't like the screen. Don't like the steering wheel. This gauge cluster is okay. I do like this. I'm not a fan of this. This instant MPG needle, it's like any time it sits below 35, I just get a huge disappointment in myself, and it makes me feel like I have to all of a sudden drive the car like a grandma. And I get it. I'm just not a fan. I do like the green lights, though, that light up on the side. I can show you if I just creep here. See if I can get to focus like that. That other noise. So yeah, I like the lights, but that other noise is something else I hate. I cannot stand that speaker. If anyone can put in the comments down below how I can unplug that speaker or do something to that speaker. Tape the speaker, I don't care. I just want nothing to do with that speaker anymore. I hate it. The speaker is very frustrating. That'd be nice. But this gauge screen in the middle, I don't like that very much. I really don't. I would have much rather have had my coolant temperature. I'd rather have my engine temperature there than have it down here. I don't like it down here. I much prefer it to be a needle. So yeah, that's the gauge cluster as a whole. So let's move on to the back seats, because the back seats is where I have another issue. Welcome to the back seat of the Camry. I don't understand that noise I just made. And it might be my rubber guard. Yes, it is. Okay. Thank God, because I didn't hear that noise until right now and almost panicked. So, we're in the back seat. I love the tinted windows. This is excellent, okay? The tinted windows are great. This is good. And here's that assist strap that's broken. I took it off. I need to buy another one of those, I know. Nice back seat. I love it. I've had a ton of passengers in this car, and they've loved the back seats too. The only thing I don't like about it, because I'm not a huge fan of this tan interior, I'm looking for like maybe a white, because this, or not tan. So I'm looking for a tan, a black or a tan, because it's like a light gray, and I'm not a big fan. I'm looking for seat covers, and I wanted to go for universal seat covers that are like a leather black, because I had that on my Camry SE, and if I could find a picture, even a picture of that interior as a whole, I'll put it up right here. But I can't find any good seat covers because these headrests are fixed in place. I really don't like fixed headrests. They shouldn't be fixed. It makes finding seat covers nearly impossible. And making seat covers fit nearly impossible, and I just don't like it. The build quality back here is okay, except for this. It shouldn't be that easy to take out. And I see how it holds in. So, just the two little, kind of, the bars that stay there, and it kind of, clips into that. How you're supposed to put it back in is, you let it, you basically, like, force it in, and then give it a, like, force it like this, and give it a push, and that does nothing, because it doesn't even fit right. So this entire, this might be, this whole area, because this armrest can't be replaced on its own, as far as I know, might be a good incentive for me to go look for a whole different kind of back seat as a whole, and just replace the back seat, because I don't like how things in this car easily just come apart. My old one didn't have this issue, so I really don't like this. Someone could tell me if this armrest is replaceable. That'd be great. That's really it in this car for things I don't like. I can't think of anything else I don't like. Like, it's just a really nice cabin, nice and roomy. I'm not a fan of the light gray interior. You already know that. I'll put up pictures now of interiors that I think I like, that I like a lot. Of course, I have to look at cars with those interiors to really decide if I like them. Which maybe that'd be my next video, is looking at Camrys like mine with different seats, so I could decide what to swap in here, because I'd like to swap different seats in here. So that's it for things I don't like. So let's move on to things I like. So for things I like, performance, of course, excellent. 200 horsepower is plenty. 199 pound-feet of torque is plenty. Gets me 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds, or 6.5 seconds. I have a picture from the race timer that I can put up right now. Very impressive. I really like it. Of course, the gas mileage is great. With my more lead foot, like 32, 33 is really good, and if I take it easy, I could well exceed 45, 50. But because of the traffic and because my town is full of hills, it's almost impossible to get the gas mileage you're really looking for out of this car. Like, it's really hard. But it's great when you on flat lands, like my normal drive to school, I can get 40. No problem. Easy 40. If there's a lot of traffic, it's a little less. If it's empty, no problems getting 45. It's really great. Really, I love the car as a whole. There's just little things I don't like. Seats, steering wheel, that stupid MPG needle, and this touchscreen are really just the only things I don't like. That's it. You'd say, well, the seats is a big one because you're in the seats all the time. I'm aware, but I don't care. Okay, these are still better than something like my mom's Fiat. Those are terrible seats. You get out, your legs hurt, your back hurts, everything hurts when you get out of that car. This car, at least your part of you feels okay when you get out of it. But it wasn't to the level of my old one. So I'm going to give you one last look around it. This is around the exterior. Because I'm going to film a Q&A if people actually left questions. There are some imperfections in the paintwork that need to be fixed. I'm going to get a paint pen and touch all these spots up. There's loads of scratches here. There's one huge one right here that I didn't cause. I think someone keyed my car, which is very upsetting. I really don't like that. See, the pattern kind of repeated itself. It's back here too. And then there's scuffs here where someone, I think, hit me. Parking lot or somewhere, maybe in traffic, I didn't feel it. Don't quite remember where these came from, but I didn't back into anything, so I think someone hit me. I can't get these out, so there's a huge scuff here. So I think it's like all damage was contained to this corner, and this bumper pretty much needs to be replaced because not only does it not sit right here, which it hasn't since day one, so it doesn't also sit right over here either. Right here, if I zoom in, you can see it just does not sit flush. So that I need to take care of. So maybe that entire bumper will get replaced. Because one thing that I planned was kind of, if you're not aware, there's a 2014 and a half SE. And basically what the SE gave you was a spoiler, the SE bumper, front and rear, the SE wheels, and some silver trim where the shifter bezel is. And that's something I was that I was thinking of doing. It also gave you the dark headlights, which these headlights can't tell. Well, they're not looking too good. It gave you body color on the grille on the top part and black fog light surrounds and other stuff. So that I might go for. Come down here, you can see more scuffs. This came from my mom. She ran it into something. I think in my garage. And that was kind of upsetting. This front end has seen lots of bugs. My license plate has seen lots of scuffs. This is from parking. And these headlights are gone. So yeah, these will get replaced. But pretty much just cosmetic. And another scratch right here. When my car has good paint, I expect the scratches to not be non-existent. Now compared to my mom's car, none of these are actually bad. Like my mom's car has some damage, like it's bad. So yeah, it's just cosmetic stuff. Anyways, I think that will conclude it for this video. Well, at least this portion. Well, I have four questions from Instagram, and I'm going to answer them. I just typed them up on here, that way they stay anonymous. I'm gonna start with the first one. So this is for the Q&A section of the video. Camry Hybrid, Avalon Hybrid, or ES300, I'm assuming 300H. What should I get? I have money for any of them. Well, the ES300, if you have the money, get the ES300H. I'm going to assume you're talking about used, because they don't have the Avalon anymore. If you're talking about new, then, well, the Crown, I would get the ES300H anyway. It is a superior car. You get double paned glass, that really, like, acoustically on the interior makes it really quiet. The hybrid powertrain is quiet. The Camry is, like, more of like a base car. I wouldn't recommend it if you're looking for something nice. If you're considering an Avalon and an ES300H as well, then forget about the Camry. There's almost no reason to get it. Especially if you have the money for an ES, there is no reason to get the Camry. It makes just no sense. Now, I don't know what years you're talking about. I'm going to assume the more later years. Question number 2. I'm an iPhone XS user. Should I upgrade to the 11 or 12? Well, don't call the 11 an upgrade. If you're talking about the 11 Pro, that's a different story. If you're talking about the 11 Pro, yes. The 12, now that I can count as an upgrade. Don't get the 11, just don't do it. If your XS is having, like, battery issues, maybe replace the battery. If it's, like, cracked and on its really on its last legs, then get a 12. Don't get an 11. Unless you, like, really don't have the money, there is no reason to get the 11. It just doesn't, and now it just doesn't make sense. It has a terrible 800p screen. It can't even natively play 1080p videos, so that on its own is enough of a reason to get the 12. Third question, we have a 2017-18, so I assuming they don't know the year. Impreza hatch base for a family car, thinking of replacing it with 2023 Corolla hybrid all-wheel drive. Up in the mountains and down in the desert often, and in the city a lot. Is it worth it getting the hybrid? 50 miles per gallon, I'm assuming. Sounds enticing, and I've heard of horror stories of Subarus. No, don't get rid of it. I don't know how many miles are on that car, but the FB20 boxer engine is an excellent engine. The horror stories you hear about Subaru are of the head gasket issues. That was on the old EJ 250, 251, and 253 engines. The FB20s don't have that issue. Since like 2008, 2009, they haven't had any head gasket issues. It's been decades, so keep it. The Corolla all-wheel drive hybrid is really slow. Like, the FB20 made it with a CVT. It only makes 152 horsepower. Is okay, but it's not great. The Corolla hybrid only has 134 horsepower. That's not enough, especially with all-wheel drive. It's not enough. If you're up in the mountains often, forget about it. Keep the Impreza. I would recommend keeping it till pretty much the wheels fall off, because those are really excellent cars, and they're extremely reliable. There isn't a reason to get the Corolla all-wheel drive. And 50 miles per gallon is nice, yes, but you're not going to get good gas mileage driving to the mountains anyway, and in the snow, hybrid cars are really inefficient. So keep your gas car. Keep the Impreza. It's just a much better idea. And if that Impreza has a manual, well, definitely keep it, because you can't get a manual with a hybrid Corolla. And for the last one, I have a 2016 Prius 4 Touring with 110,000 miles, considering replacing with 23 Prime SE. What do you think? 110,000 miles is not a lot. Those 2016 Priuses can very easily go 500,000 miles. There's even videos of them going 500,000 miles. I'll put a picture up here of one with 500,000 miles. The 23 Prime is great, and I've seen the car in person. It's an excellent car, but I wouldn't recommend it. It depends on your situation. And most Prius drivers, I'm going to go assuming that you do your average 15,000 miles a year. There isn't a reason, unless it's majority city, there is no reason to get the Prime. I would recommend, especially if you have getting good gas mileage, keep your Prius 4, because those are really great cars, and the wait times for a Prime, just like the NX 450H Plus, is insane. I've heard of wait times on the NX450 H Plus 2 to 3 years. I've heard on the Prime almost 1 to 2 years. The plug-in hybrids from Toyota are selling like crazy, and the wait times are ridiculous. There's not even a chance you may even be able to get one. So I'd recommend, just for now, sticking with the 2016 Prius. There is no reason to get rid of it. So that will conclude this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you enjoyed this Q&A, learned something useful from it. This video will be uploaded tonight, and hopefully you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day.